I just saw the bill for the electricity and to charge these was $600 a month. And we were paying probably $4,000 for gas vehicles for the same amount. So the savings are substantial.
We are back with a big deal. I'm Josh Robin, and today we're breaking down how President Donald Trump's tax and spending bill will affect Americans, particularly the nation's approach to clean energy and environmental protection. The bill will eliminate many of the tax incentives designed to boost clean energy projects fueled by renewable sources like wind and solar. Those tax breaks were a central part of the Inflation Reduction Act that was passed during the Biden administration, and it marks the latest move by the White House to undo America's shift away from fossil fuels. One of the first federal tax credits to end is the $7,500 rebate for electric vehicles, and that will expire at the end of September. Spectrum News reporter Jamie Kennedy spoke to a business owner in Sacramento, California, who took advantage of the EV tax credit.
Valves, they'll probably try to replace them.
As someone whose business revolves around renewable energy, president of Aztec Solar Ed Murray says it made sense for his business to look into EV work vehicles.
Progressing with solar pool heating, solar water heating, solar electricity, and now we thought the next step was EV electric vehicles.
As a medium-sized business with 49 employees, Ed says his new fleet of 6 EV work vehicles that each cost $120,000 wouldn't have been possible without help.
You see FedEx out there and Amazon with these vehicles, they can afford it. We can't without the special treatment that we get from Mitra and the Air Quality Board and SMUD, the local utility. They're all giving us help and rebates.
The 3 companies Ed mentioned utilize state and federal clean energy incentives, but the majority of that federal support is gone under President Donald Trump's Big Beautiful Bill. The president calling green tax credits a scam, Senate Majority Leader John Thune reiterating Republicans' focus on fossil fuels over renewables.
The Biden administration took us down the wrong path. It restricted development of America's conventional energy resources.
In the bill, most tax credits for large wind and solar projects end in 2028, with residential solar credits ending this year and EV credits by September. UC Davis economist Colin Murphy says government incentives made clean tech cheaper and warns that fossil fuels are finite, so a shift to renewables is inevitable.
It can't stop EVs from taking over. It can't stop wind and solar from increasing deployment globally, but it can slow it down quite a bit.
Range anxiety for EV work vehicles has also been an argument against credits for such programs, but Ed says his get close to 300 miles, which is more than enough, and he's already seen big cost savings.
I just saw the bill for the electricity and to charge these was $600 a month. And we were paying probably $4,000 for gas vehicles for the same amount. So the savings are substantial.
Jamie Kennedy, Spectrum News.
And joining me now with more on all of this is Karl Rábago, who has more than 3 decades of experience with clean energy. He's currently the principal at Rábago Energy. That's a consulting firm in Denver. Previously served as a former assistant secretary at the U.S. Department of Energy. Thanks so much for being here. I wanted to start with this. There's data I have seen that U.S. renewable energy is here to stay and grow. Considering the president signed this bill, I wanted to get your read on that and whether it will adversely affect our global competitiveness, like against China, which is also growing its renewable energy supply.
Yes, it's a pleasure to be with you, Josh. And yes, you're heading exactly the right direction. It is hardly possible to kill the renewable energy industry in the United States. It has grown too big. It is still the least cost resource we have available, but the pain will not be evenly distributed. States like Texas, where I've once served as a public utility commissioner and helped put in the first wind farms a long time ago, have great resources, have open markets, and there will be slowing down, but there will be continuation of solar and wind development, at least for the short-term foreseeable future. However, other states that were catching up are going to find that they are not going to get the jobs. They're not going to get the manufacturing. They're not going to get the development benefits. And most importantly, they are not going to get the savings on their electric bills, because some of the incumbents are going to double down on much more expensive, much riskier fossil fuels that we know do not deliver the best bang for the buck. and by the way, still get huge subsidies and got even more subsidies from the big ugly bill.
Yeah, a lot of people don't recognize that subsidies do continue. They're just not for renewables. So we're told that ending subsidies for renewables will make energy more reliable and affordable. You mentioned that, and I wanted to press you a little bit more on that because there have indeed been a number of energy delivery problems in recent years, like blackouts, and traditional forms of energy are seen as more reliable. I wanted to ask you if you believe that that's the case.
Yeah, first I want to correct. Ending support for renewable energy will make electricity more expensive. You aim at renewables, you're going to hit a consumer because these have been the least cost resource coming into the mix. It'll make renewables more expensive, but they're still competitive, especially when you assess the total impact of fossil fuels, the pie in the sky dreams of a nuclear renaissance, the practical impossibility of large-scale hydrogen, all the other things they're doubling down on, especially hydrogen from natural gas. But what'll happen here is that the industry is not just the wind farm and the solar farm, right? It is the ability to amass huge supply chains, to get thousands and thousands of solar panels made of glass and aluminum framing, wind turbines made with fiberglass and steel poles, and magnets and motors that are generators that turn motion into electricity.
The upfront costs of an electric vehicle are typically higher than a gasoline-powered car, but EV owners save on other matters. Without these federal tax credits, do you think that owning an EV is no longer affordable? Or cost-effective, I should say?
I think it'll be affordable for those who have extra money. Who have a little bit of free spending power in their household budgets, and they will buy it for the bargain that it'll deliver over time. I have a Ford Lightning, I have a Volkswagen ID4, and I have 3 electric bikes in my garage. I can afford to do it and could do it even without the tax credits. What it'll mean, though, is that the smoky, smoggy junkers will move to people with less income. They'll be the ones having to pay for oil changes. They'll be the ones having to pay for expensive gasoline. Rather than transforming our transportation economy, what we're doing is we're just allowing the rich, who will get bigger tax credits, the opportunity to buy more of their toys, curiosities, and while everyone else will be stuck with paying the man.
Okay. We'll have to leave it there. Karl Rábago, thank you so much for your time and your perspective. We appreciate that.
Thank you for watching our YouTube channel. Let Spectrum News be your resource for balanced, in-depth political coverage, and click the subscribe button right here. You can also download our app or watch us on TV to learn more about the candidates, where they stand on the issues, and more. We'll see you then.